The number of women who say they were sexually abused or harassed by Harvey Weinstein grows. Game of Thrones star Lena Headey said in a series of tweets that Weinstein made sexual advances toward her on 2 occasions. She accuses him of making a suggestive comment during the Venice Film Festival more than a decade ago. She says she laughed it off. And years later, she says Weinstein tried to get her to come to his hotel room, making her feel, quote, completely powerless. There are now 55 women accusing Weinstein, the allegations ranging from sexual misconduct to rape. Weinstein's attorney says in a statement any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Yesterday, the board of Weinstein's company ratified its decision to terminate him. Women in and outside of Hollywood are now using the hashtag #MeToo, flooding a variety of social media platforms. Since actress Alyssa Milano used it on Sunday, thousands of women and men have come forward with their stories of harassment and abuse. And among them now, Olympic gold medalist Michaela Maroney, who competed in the 2012 Games, became an internet sensation for her "not impressed" meme, and you saw President Obama with her doing that. In a statement on Twitter, Maroney alleges she was repeatedly molested from the age of 13 by former USA gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar. The tweet reads in part, "I had a dream to go to the Olympics, and the things that I had to endure to get there were unnecessary and disgusting." NBC News reached out to Nassar's attorney but received no immediate response. He is currently in jail awaiting 2 trials on state charges, alleging he molested former patients as well as a family friend. He has pleaded not guilty. Joining me now is Liz Plank, executive producer of Vox Media podcast Divided States of Women. Oprah Winfrey, I hardly know where to begin. Oprah Winfrey says this is a turning point. Do you think it is?
I hope it is, and I think it will be a turning point if we see men speaking about this issue. I think one of the differences with the Harvey Weinstein case is that, as you said, 55 women, multiple women have been coming forward, and the hashtag #MeToo, which was actually started by Tarana Burke 10 years ago. I mean, she started this campaign, and it's helped women speak out is so important. But the board is also important. The board terminating him and men deciding that this kind of behavior is not acceptable in their companies and just as part of their gender, that they're taking responsibility and holding men accountable. I hope that's the watershed moment, because that's actually going to be preventing further cases of sexual assault, because men are responsible.
Yeah, and I hope that that's what people take away from this, that it's not okay, as opposed to something that someone might do, arguably, to protect their own company or whatever it is. You responded saying that you were sexually harassed, that you were groped, that you were physically and verbally attacked. And you started your own hashtag, him though. Tell us why, what it means.
I was so in awe of the women who used Me Too to share their stories, and that, as I'm sure for you, that was my entire feed. And I was so proud of those women for coming forward. But I'm also sick of having to I'm sick of having to tell my story, and I'm sick of women having to tell their stories in order to be believed. It's actually pretty ludicrous that we call men's violence against women a women's issue, and it actually speaks volume to who we hold accountable and responsible to stop that violence. And it affects the resources that go into the issue. There's a Department of Justice study that showed that only 8% of the resources that go to rape prevention are going to men. That is not going to help solve this problem if we do not hold men accountable for what they're doing, and if men do not hold themselves accountable as well.
So what do you see happening next? Because clearly, things do change in terms of social mores. People do start to feel empowered. Maybe more women will feel that they can stand up and step up. It doesn't necessarily change the fact that if you're a young 22-year-old, you don't have to be in Hollywood. You can be anywhere working for a powerful person and find yourself in this situation. Is it something Congress needs to be looking at? Are the laws not strong enough? Are they not enforced enough? Does every boardroom in America need to sit down and say, do we know that this is not going to happen in our company? Because if it does, there will be consequences.
Right. Absolutely. And look, the vast majority of rapists and men who abuse women do not spend a minute or a second in jail, and that's a problem with our justice system and our criminal system. And rape kits sitting on shelves, police departments not believing women or taking them seriously. We've all heard these stories. But look, absolutely. absolutely. This needs to be something that everyone takes responsibility for. Every parent has a conversation with their daughter, right? We've all had that conversation about how to watch out for rape and how to prevent sexual assault and sexual harassment. Why aren't we having that conversation with our sons? We need to have that conversation with our sons.
You ask a critical question, Liz Plank.
Thank you.
And thanks to the parents who already are having that
Yes.
conversation.